Hi, my name is Wong Kai-shing, and I'm representing for Task 3 of Games Development. So I'll be splitting up the presentation into two parts, which are the game mechanics and as well as the interface. So firstly, we'll be going through the game mechanics. Firstly, I have integrated a few player movements for this game, such as moving left to the right, moving from right to the left. So I have integrated a few movements for the users, such as moving left and moving right as well. Users are also able to jump, and double jumps are disabled, and users will need to be on the ground to be able to jump again. So users will need to go over the obstacle, and yeah, they'll be able to avoid the obstacle. So for the player movement, I have integrated the animator panel. So for the animation of the users, of the players, I have used the animator panel in order to let the animations more smoothly integrated, and also to use the parameters in order to make all these actions run more smoothly. For example, the players will be going from idling to walking if there is the actions like the x-axis, the y-axis is moving, the x-axis is moving, so it will be start the animations. And if the horizontal inputs are not pressed, then it will just be false. And if jump, in any states, the users are also able to jump, which is able to detect that if it's grounded. If it's grounded, then users are able to jump. If not, they are not able to jump. If the players are able to die in any states, for example, if they jump, then they can die when they drop onto the spikes, something like that. So it will just instantly put a bool into it to make the player die. Then, as you can see at the background, I've also integrated the parallax effect background, which will be using the codes such as this one. I'll be using the parallax layers and other parallax background scripts as well. By doing so, I'll need to layer the backgrounds and the foreground into different layers, and which means that I'll need to layer it with the parallax factor to be able to make it. And I've also integrated the CD machine camera, which is able to allow the parallax effect to be integrated and also enable the camera to follow the users as well. So as you can see, if the players are moving, the background will be in parallax as well. And next one, I've also integrated the health system, which means that when users go to the spike and their health will be straight deduct 3 lives, no more. Besides that, I've also integrated the health system in which you can see that the 3 health hearts right here, users will be having only 3 health. So if they were to have to deal with some damage, then the hearts will be deducted. For example, 3 hearts will be deducted once the players fell into the spikes. So this one was able to be made by using the health system that was put into the player and as well as the canvas as well. So right here we'll be labeling that the players, have 3 hearts, 3 lives, and the canvas will be showing the UI, something like that. We'll be showing the UI. We'll be labeling the hearts right here, and also to switch from empty hearts to the full hearts when there's damage due to the players, and as well as if the players heal. So one of the cheat codes that I have enabled for this player to get their lives or to get the lives damaged or deducted, which is the E and H actually. The E is to deduct, the H is to get healed, to get more lives. For example, if I get 2, then I just need to press the H button in order to heal it. So as you can see, the console will be show that the users have healed and also took damage as well. If I press the E, then the debug will be showing that I have taken the damage. If I press H, then I have healed. So another thing is that I have also integrated the collectables, which means that users will need to collect the item in order to be having the ability to attack. If the users collected this, then the users are able to attack. For example, the idle, if I click on the left button, it will be transferring to the fire, which means that the attack animations will be played. But right now, I'm having some issues in try and erroring how to show the projectile in it. The projectile was fired, but then the projectile was nowhere to be seen, so I need to try and error on that. Alright, and next one is to have more responsive, to be more having some more feedbacks when the users did some actions, such as when the users just now collected. Maybe I will need to add some effects in order to make it more feedback and responsive for the players to know that they have collected the item. So now we're moving on to the next section of the presentation, which is the interface. So for the interface, I've integrated the grids into integrating the sprites into making these levels. So I have imported sprites into this tile palette, which enables me to paint the canvas. Actually, to paint the canvas and also to remove it when I don't need the assets, the blocks of it. I'll just remove it, and I was able to integrate the rigid body and as well as the colliders to ensure that the players are able to not despawn into the ground, and also to make sure that they can detect that this is the floor. And there are also spikes as well, which I've separated into different layers, which also have the spike script right here in order to deal the damage, how many damage that will be due to the users, to the players. And next one is the collectables. The collectables will be right here, which will be shown right here, and I also integrated the animations. So the animations will be shown right here to when the collectible is idling. So I'll summarize on what I did for this task is that I have integrated the UI in it, the levels UI on how the foreground and background and as well as the platforms for the users, and also I also make sure that to integrate the player movements for the player, and as well as integrating Parallax Background to make it more adapts to the background. And there's also the health system that I've put into the players in order to calculate the health for it, how many health lives were deducted or healed. And I've also integrated spikes in order to prevent the users from jumping into the hole. And it will also deal 3 damage to the users, which means that all their lives. And next one will be I've also integrated the collectible which users will need to collect it in order to attack, to have the ability to attack the enemies. So for the next action is that I'll need to finish all the levels and also to make it more with feedbacks and responsive for most of the features in this game to be able to let the users know that they have taken the action. And yeah, that's the end for my presentation for Touch 3. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.